to Great Principles. I am Seema Choria. Great Principles, an educational and interactive talk show that brings together best school leaders of the country. Today we have with us Ms. Sunita Jain, who has for the past 8 years been the principal of Dr. Cyrus Poonawalla English Medium School, formerly known as Chaitanya High School of Camp Education Society. A strong advocate for honesty, consistency and discipline, she believes that a good principal should have self-esteem, which leads to confidence as well as thorough knowledge of what is happening within the school, so that the principal can effectively work towards reaching to the higher standards within the school. She was awarded the best school principal within 3 years of joining the school by Camp Education Society. It is an honor to welcome Ms. Sunita Jain, Principal Dr. Cyrus Poonawalla English Medium School, formerly known as Chaitanya High School, the Camp Education Society. Welcome to the show, ma'am. It's an honor to have you here.
Yeah, thank you. My pleasure. Good evening and nice meeting you. Yeah.
So, ma'am,
carry on.
To begin with, we would like to ask something about you, yourself, and your career in education.
Okay. Let me tell you, as a person, I would tell you I'm affectionate, reliable, focused on my work. Definitely have considerate towards my subordinates and staff, students. And career-wise, yes, I love children, like to interact with them, and therefore leading to teaching due to liking children, and therefore craving for teaching. And here I am in this field of teaching.
So, being around children and craving for teaching is what keeps you going.
Being around is their curiosity, time to time knowing what's going on, what I'm to keep myself update regarding knowledge-wise and in academics, and also being aware, self-aware of current situation, as the students are very creative, very, you could say, innovative, curious. Therefore, it keeps me also updated from time to time. So definitely, this is something I like to interact with them, and of course, in the field of education.
Great, ma'am. So now we would like to ask about what is the philosophy of your school and what makes it unique.
Yeah, I would like to say, first of all, I would like to educate each and every student of my school from all strata. And most important is preparing the child for the future and realistic world. No commercial angle, and definitely they should have freedom of mind, express themselves, physical, mental, emotional growth is being taken that brings up all-round development along with academics. So I would say this is the philosophy of school. And uniqueness is, I would like to say, is personal attention towards them, their requirements, and not just academics. It could be interaction through day-to-day activities, emotionally, and definitely being available to them. And of course, academics plays an important part of the role in school.
A wonderful school with a beautiful philosophy that it is not there for earning. It is for imparting education, which is the true essence of any school. Right. So beautifully explained philosophy by ma'am. So going ahead, ma'am, what is a better idea? An exclusively girls' school, boys' school, or a co-ed school?
Definitely co-ed school. Better idea. Yes, I think is healthy way of bringing up child. Interaction and communication skills are better explained and stronger. Then post school, when they go for their future education or higher education, they place themselves confidently. There is respect for each other. Uh, as I said, communication skills and all, they're able to handle the situation and challenges, face them very confidently. And this is acceptance, equality to the gender, expressing their opinions, their views, and accepting, give and take is there. This is definitely in co-ed school, not only academic wise, I would say, because the data, but I think according to 2018 also shown the performance of students, they perform better in co-ed school than given in either girls or boys school, I would say.
So today, ma'am has cleared a very big ambiguity, a chaos which is always there in a parent mind, whether I should opt for a girls or boys school or co-ed school. So definitely a co-ed school is better, as guided, rightly said by ma'am. Going ahead, ma'am, the COVID has suddenly brought us all to the virtual education. So in your opinion, how has virtual learning affected the academic progress?
Yeah, I would say it was a drastic change has brought this virtual education, where literally I would say it has replaced physical teaching, and it has become an integral part of teaching. That is, as I said, it dramatically changed, distinctive rise in e-learning and digital platform. It has become an integral part of teaching, and it's a necessity because it prepares the students for, you could say, a better tomorrow. And therefore, of course, it has accepted, though it was a sudden change, but accepted by the students, teachers, parents, everyone. And definitely we found that how this teaching also is an important, and it is effective preparing the students, because you cannot remove now, I would say, the digital sort of platform, which has been given a vast impact in education worldwide. And it's very important, I would say, virtual training.
So this is academically not affecting the children.
There are pros and cons. It is affecting, but definitely it is preparing the students to prepare for a better future. And uh, it's another option which is being replaced by physical training. So it creates curiosity. It is preparing them to be self-reliant. Then they're having better on skill development. Preparing oneself, you could say, to know their strengths and weaknesses. They're able to clear their doubts. A lot of knowledge and all is founded. So it is essential. I say it is important, and slowly and steadily they are going to get adapted to it, and they will be results will be really, you could say, productive, I would say.
So going ahead, ma'am, even beyond COVID, we expect that there will be a blend of virtual as well as physical.
Yeah, true. Blending will definitely be, because this is going to now, I would say, it is going to be a continuous process. We cannot do without virtual training. It has become, as I said before, I told you before, it's an integral part of training, I would say, for the education. So both together, they are going to go hand in hand.
So a better side of COVID is that it has given the technological boom in the education field, and we have all our teachers getting digitally literate now.
Yes. They have to redefine themselves. They have to be thorough, as you could say, tech savvy, whatever the requirements, they updated, upgraded. They should be alert, and definitely the teachers are doing their good job. They are trying their best, I would say. They are learning, they are on their toes, and they are educating themselves also to be in align with the students and curriculum.
Right. It was not easy, but very well accepted by and all the stakeholders.
Right.
Going ahead, ma'am,
Yeah.
tell us how the changes we see during COVID-19 pandemic will change the future higher education.
First and all, as I said also before, it is going to prepare the children for the realistic world, to face the challenges, make them stronger mentally, and of course, whatever the challenges they'll be facing, I think the child will able to solve, because now lot of knowledge and information is being available on data. So within seconds or within minutes, they can access that information, share with their friends, and sitting at one place in the world, in other corner, they are being aware, they are knowing what's going on, and it is very easy and accessible to interact and hold account global education. What if it changes, whatever is taken within seconds, they are able to access and know what's going in and around it, the thing. So I think this is going to be productive if properly used, and the results will definitely are going to be much better, faster, and they're going to keep the students on their toes. Their innovative, creative thinking is going to increase, and logical application, rational, everything is going to take place, I think, with this digital platform.
It has also brought the best universities and the best educators more, accessible.
Yeah, true.
It was a dream that I may go to Harvard and study, but today I can think like I can connect virtually with the professors and enhance my skills.
Sure, true, agree with it. They come together. Of course, there are pros and cons, but I would say when we see the better side, the productive sides, it's much more than the shortcomings, I would say.
A very powerful message, ma'am, that one should always look at the positive aspect, then you automatically stop seeing the negative.
Right, true, true.
So
Because
going
this
ahead,
helps us to face, yes, yes.
yeah,
This
yeah,
helps us
definitely.
fine. I would just say this helps us to face the challenges which are coming up.
Right. And makes us better, a better person when we stop seeing the negativity around us.
True, very true. Yeah.
So going ahead, ma'am, we would like to talk about your accomplishments. I'm sure there must be many, but we'd like to know about one which you are most proud of.
Accomplishments, of course, I've had to begin. I would just say in view, I've been my schooling, graduation, post-graduation has been done from the reputed institute. I would say that has led me to this, and within joining in this institution, within 3 years or 4 years, as I told you, besides getting the best principal award, the results for me that is makes me more happy is the 10th and 12th standard academically. Getting not only just 100% result, but students are performing, I could say, grade wise. They're showing year by a better performance is being seen. And not only just in academics, of course, in other co-curricular activities also. And I see the rise development in qualitative wise also. That makes me really feel. And the most important, teachers are self-motivated. They take the task themselves. They know when the child is slow learner, below average, they wait after school and they are ready to teach them. That is a very good thing, I would say. It makes really feel a good teamwork by the teachers and all. So it's sort of continuous process of they are also initiative and coming forward for the development and betterment of the students, and indirectly it is betterment of the development of schools.
Absolutely, ma'am. So you have an amazing team, self-motivated teachers, and what makes you proud is seeing the child grown 360 degree.
Yeah.
Wonderful, ma'am. So this brings to me to the very interesting segment of the show, which is called Rapid Fire Round. And you have to answer only in one word.
Fine.
So here is my first question to you. This question particularly requires 3 words. If you would characterize a great school principal with 3 words, which words would you choose?
First, visionary. Second, leadership qualities. And third, I would definitely a strong interpersonal skill. That is.
Wonderful. Name a school principal you admire the most.
Yes, my very first school after my graduation, which I joined as a teacher, it was Stella Maris School, and name of the principal was Sister Suzanne.
Great. Ma'am, do you think that yoga should be a daily practice in the school?
Yes, I do believe it should be.
Technology is imperative in education. Do you agree?
Agreed, truly. Yes.
Do marks really matter in life?
No, not marks, it is the achievements.
So going ahead, ma'am, we heard about your professional life. Now we would like to know something out of your professional life. What are the hobbies or sports you're involved and why do you enjoy them?
Okay, hobbies I come to, I love listening to music and old songs, traveling, exploring new places. And yes, it makes me happy. I'm content and makes me happy. Sports, now for a few years I'm not able, or I would say I'm not playing, but I was playing table tennis and badminton. They were the integral part during my school and college day.
Great. So ma'am loves music and she loves traveling. That makes her happy and contented. So that is why she enjoys them. Going ahead, ma'am, we are on the last question of the day, which is also called viewer's choice question. I will put this question in Hindi and English. Abhi, like we have online examination, right? So as a parent, parents are always around children. How can parents resist the temptation? वो कैसे खुद को रोके कि हमें अपने बच्चों की help नहीं करनी है? And
Okay.
how do schools ensure that online exams are fair?
Online exams are fair.
Fairness
Okay.
of online examination.
Right, true. It can be taken care of, definitely. First of all, time has been allotted. In that time, questions are being set according to the questions answers. Teacher knows, and if the child is aware of the content, the knowledge he knows, definitely within the time. So there is very less time to interact and to go through or talk with someone. He has to prepare for the examination because he'll be graded or she'll be graded for the mark. Second thing, there is no question of parents interrupting, because जो time दे उसमें जवाब देने हैं तो उस पे ही concentration है, time ही कहाँ है parents को. So it is such a way, all precautions, of course, of security, technology, you could say the net and all, taking all this into consideration are working, and this leads to, it's not just giving marks, it is content and knowledge. If the child knows, is able to answer them. So I
Ma'am,
think,
still, ma'am, there are like, parents have this urge to prompt in between. If a
Yeah.
child forgets something, they'll like, I'll help, she'll gain 100% marks then.
so somewhere, I think there should be sort of, not exactly counseling, but parents should be made aware that they are not, what you could say, making the child grow, but they are hampering him by interrupting or helping, that they are just making him lame. So I think first the parent should be made aware of it. What are the shortcomings of their interference, and how the growth will not be, you could say, will not be proper, or they would be hindrance of the child. So I think that would be one way to tell them. And the second is just as really, when they are in the early age, they are aware, the child is aware with used to the technology, and it knows the merits and demerits, and he is trained, definitely the child is also going to tell the parents that let me handle, let me do. And this could be a process, ongoing process. Once the child knows, and slowly when he grows, will be explaining to the parents, and even the parents will be knowing what they are doing is probably not right. This
Yeah,
is one
because
way.
we are parents, by prompting or helping their children, they think that they will score better, but they are even telling them it's okay to do cheating. It's
No,
okay to cheat, which is very wrong.
Yeah, because let me tell you, Seemaji, because this is first, I could say this, due to pandemic, this virtual has come into existence. Maybe the parents are excited. This is the first time, so they find somewhere the child. If we tell, they'll perform. He'll be graded according to. So they're doing slowly and steadily. They will also realize that this is not the proper way, or this is not. You could say they'll leave the children alone and let them handle the things. It will take time, but definitely things will change slowly and steadily. Because in our culture, it is somewhere the parents, you could say, existence plays a major role. So not only in academics, in all the other things, emotionally, on all, they think by prompting or doing, they're doing something good for the child, which is not correct. But they'll, I think, by explaining and telling the children, passing the message indirectly, and by from teachers also, they will also realize this.
So very wonderfully explained by ma'am. To all my viewers, to all my parents out there, please resist the temptation of helping your child. A 1 mark or a grade less doesn't matter, but you are making that child lose on a very larger picture.
Right. Because it is ultimately, marks is just the eligibility criteria. It is knowledge which is going to speak. It is knowledge, it depends, success depends upon knowledge, not upon the marks. So ultimately, achievement of the child is going to speak, not the marks.
Great, ma'am. So it was really, really wonderful to have you here. So this was Sunita, ma'am, who believes that honesty is the best policy. Be honest. She loves children and she loves teaching. She loves to travel. She loves listening music. And she has a very great philosophy that do not try to help your children by, just giving them, holding their hand everywhere. Leave them, let them grow. By doing so, you will let them nurture better. So thank you so much, ma'am, for this wonderful discussion. I'm sure the discussion was equally insightful for my viewers. Thank you so much. It was wonderful to have you here, ma'am.
Thanks, Seemaji. My pleasure. Nice interacting with you and talking to you. All the best.
Thank you so much, ma'am.